what? It was me. I think it was me. I realized I had my phone sideways instead of, I had a horizontal instead of vertical. And it just said that when I tried to join, I couldn't join because it had my phone horizontal on the stand. So I think that's what it was.
It would not let me, it would not allow me to click join, but it would allow me to click decline. The weirdest thing.
Wow. So I think I really do believe that it was probably that what I just said. Um, unfortunately. So I am sorry about that, Lakeisha. That was not my intention. I'm trying to share this to my page right now so other people can see it. There it is. Okay. Okay. So we're just gonna go in because it's 12:35, and I know that if you're like me, you have different things to do with your day. And I don't want to hold you all day long, nor do I want to hold the people all day long either that were looking because it was several people that was on. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yes, I did. And I was just trying to click, and it just would not
Yeah,
go.
it wasn't your fault. Yesterday when I tested this, I didn't have it on that stand. So it was, I think it really was the stand. It was that the phone needed to be rotated the other way. Yep. So we just gonna go forth again. You all, this is my Angels Good Vibes Zone. Hour of Power, Boss Talks, Women's History Month edition. First guest, Lakeisha Walker. She's an amazing woman of God, amazing woman of purpose, an amazing woman of many talents. And I'm just gonna ask her right now to give us some of the details about her businesses and her organization.
But first, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you selecting me and even looking at me as one of the women being honored. Also, the next thing is I love the African headpiece, and
Oh,
also
thank you.
um, I'm the founder of Honorable Women Inc., which is a nonprofit right here in Chicago. We help survivors of human sex trafficking. I am a survivor myself. When I was a teen, I was kidnapped, I was tortured, I was raped, I was sold. And as a result, God has chosen me to be one of the people here just helping within a community to rescue those who are hurting, those who are victimized through sexual exploitation. So that is the first thing I wanted to mention because that's a very important business and a
Right.
huge passion of mine. And in my book, it comes before any other business that I have, period. The other business that I started about, 13 years I've been face painting.
Wow.
Years ago, I became a face painter, and that business was birthed out of me being a survivor of human sex trafficking and just not feeling like I fit into the normal realm of work life of corporate America. Sure, I had corporate America, jobs. I noticed that it was something special about like that I had a gift as far as
Right.
business through working in corporate America, but because of some of the things that I had went through and struggled through, I didn't feel as though I fit in. So I became an entrepreneur. Yay. um, so I've been an entrepreneur for about, 13, 14 years. Um, and it's worked out fantastic. I absolutely love face painting. Been doing it for a long time. Met some wonderful leaders, like organization leaders along the way, um, with me, face painting. And I discovered that I could make children smile and bring some joy to them before I was courageous enough to start a nonprofit. I just want to say this because you never know who's watching.
Right.
Whatever you're doing is your ministry. It doesn't matter what it is. I don't care if you're a greeter at the door. That is your ministry. And through just my relationship with God, my pastor, and just my church, I've learned to do whatever it is that you're doing and do it well, give it your all, and just to have that smile on your face and to just send out positive vibes, just like what we're doing right now, send out
Right.
positive.
Right.
So I would send out positive vibes to those little babies, like while I was face painting their face, and I would tell them, "You are beautiful. How old are you?" And you'd be surprised how many little ones have told me like, wow, you know, nobody never said that to me before. Do you really think so? Absolutely. So I've learned to utilize whatever platform I'm in, whatever it is that I'm doing, to help people, to be an example. So I started there. The next thing, I'm just trying to quickly say it so that I can let you give feedback. The
No,
next
you good. You good.
thing is just that I became an author. I recently became an author. I have 2 books on Amazon. My first book was something that I wrote because I love giving back to the community in any way that I can. So the first book is actually a children's book called Bubble Spoke Up. And it basically is a book to teach children how to speak up and say that I am uncomfortable. And it does not matter what that situation is that makes you uncomfortable, but it's okay to go to an adult and just say simply, I'm uncomfortable. And
Right.
that's what it's about. And it's a fun book. I mean, you would love it. Like, you can go on Amazon and see it. The other book is Brilliant Minds, and that is a human sex trafficking workbook. And that is for those people who want to learn more about human sex trafficking. I definitely recommend it for all organizations, for any businesses, or anyone that just wants to know more about human sex trafficking, because you need to know, like, how does the predator look? How does the person look who's in the lifestyle? What does it look like if they need your help? You know, you could be going outside right now and somebody could just be like, help, you know, what do you do? So
Right.
that book, you in-depth details and education on how to properly help a human sex trafficking survivor. So yeah, I'm just working on so many different things. Like, we have another program. We have a lot of programs actually in Honorable Women Inc. But there's another program that's actually starting Saturday, in which Angel is a part of that as well. And that is a program for our teens, a prevention program. I started the teen prevention program so that we can possibly avoid some of the things that, you know, will cause a person to accept the predator in the first place. A lack of
Right.
love, a lack of, you know, poverty-stricken families, which we have communities. Just those things, you know, a lack of support. So I wanted for all of us to be like supportive to those teens and just give them that so they won't feel lack, and there will be no need to say, you know, a predator or a stranger, whatever
Right.
you want to call it. Questions.
Yep. Wow, you said so much. And actually, I was going to pivot to one of the questions that I have for you, but I feel like you kind of answered it, but I'm still going to ask you it to expand more upon it. But it was, what do you do to inspire other women and girls every day to become a boss?
What I do to inspire women and girls every day to become a boss. Actually, I can answer that question in a different way. The first thing I do is I spread positive energy. I spread positivity. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. And even if, you know, I work with or work around, or if anybody volunteers for me, they will tell you I never let it get to my head. I'm always humble. And I remember where I came from. That's the first thing. The second thing that I do is I teach classes. I'm glad you asked me that, because I have a class coming up soon within the next couple of months, where I will be teaching a class on how to write a book. Like, since I've written books and
Oh,
people have been inboxing me like, how do you write a book? How do you write a book? And I think that's one of our problems in the African American or Black and brown communities, is that we don't help each other, right? So
right.
help. I want to help, bring back help. As I learn and as I gain knowledge and wisdom, I want to stand, well, I'm going to, or I am standing with other just leaders and people, period, you know, just bringing back that help. Of course, I do have to charge a fee, because
Of
whatever we
course.
collect is like to raise funds for our organization. But it's not going to be a super expensive fee. It's going to be affordable. And we should have Black and brown authors all over the place when I'm done.
Right.
So that, yeah.
That's awesome. I'm so glad that you mentioned that. I know I was one of those people that inboxed you when I seen that you had released your book. So I was like, oh, how did you do that? And you're right. And in our community, unfortunately, we have a crab in the barrel mentality. A lot of the times, if we get monies or we get information, we don't share. And that is something that needs to change. And I'm glad that you're one of the individuals who is changing that narrative, that we are not against one another, but we need to be more united with one another. And so that is definitely everything that you could do. Like, that's some major things to inspire women and girls every day to become a boss by telling a story. And, you know, I want you now to, this is not one of the questions, but it just came to my spirit. I would like for you to share some of your story, because I feel
Yeah.
like that inspires women and girls too.
Well, when I was 17 years old, I was snatched off of the streets of Chicago from a predator, a pimp, and he was a Romeo pimp. I'm just walking down the street, normal 17-year-old. A guy just approaches me, asks me for my phone number. I give him my phone number, and then I discover that it's not my phone number that he wanted. He grooms me for about a month and pretends to be my boyfriend. And after grooming me and telling me he loves me, this is another huge part. Um, my parents were addicted to crack cocaine. So I wasn't one of those children that felt necessarily loved or, um, some of the comfort that a lot of our children experience, like naturally. So I didn't feel that. I was in DCFS. I bounced around, ended up in my grandmother's lap. So this is all prior to me meeting this person. A lot of people ask me, like, why would you just, go with the person? Well, because I didn't feel love. So this is a person giving me fake, a fake sense of love. So I'm
Right.
thinking he cares about me. He tells me he's my best friend, that I could trust him. We are just alike. Both of our parents, went through the same things and things like that. After that, he dares me to go into a strip club. I just got to call it what, for lack of a better term. Now, that was totally out of my element. It wasn't anything I, was surrounded by. My grandmother had actually sheltered me. So I was a pretty sheltered, kind of like a suburban kid almost. But I didn't want him to make fun of me, and I didn't want him to say that I was weak. And that is something that a lot of our children suffer with, peer pressure, which that's going to eventually be in my books. But anyway, peer pressure. So I just said, okay, I'll go. Not thinking he was serious about really having me go into this place or anything like that. The next thing I know, I'm in a strip club. That by the end of that night, he took me to this place. I get into the strip club, and there are women, like exotic dancers, about maybe 5 or 6. And then there's another guy that's just sizing me up, just looking me up and down, I guess to pinpoint, like, okay, I guess she works. I guess she's good enough, or whatever it is. The girls have clothing in their hands, which was like exotic dance clothing, and they're pulling my arm to go towards the back. So as they're pulling me to go towards the back, I'm looking at the door because that was my opportunity to run. But because I was outnumbered, I'm just thinking like, well, I better just do what they say. So initially it wasn't, I'm gonna beat you in the head type of thing, but
Right.
it was just a manipulative and I should just listen to them because I'm outnumbered 17, right?
And how old were you again?
I was 17.
Okay.
So I go to the back of the club, and they're just like dressing me all up, and I'm just looking like, what the heck is, going on? I'm scared out of my man. One of the girls tells me, she tells me like, I can trust her. I'll be with her. And I'm an exotic dancer overnight. Okay. So after that situation happened, within a 3-day time frame, I was allowed to go home. I was just manipulated. This Romeo pimp is telling me like, you need to dance to make a life for us and things like that. But it wasn't like him beating me or, trying to kill me yet. Right.
Right.
The next thing I know, I'm sold to the guy. Like one night, the first pimp doesn't show up and the other guy just appears. And he basically says, you're a man, come with me. If you tell anybody, I'm gonna kill you. Slams my head into the
Wow.
window. And that was just the end of it. It was just like, I'm your pimp now. You're gonna do what I say or else. And that's exactly what happened. So I would try to run away frequently probably within like a 2-week time frame, I would try
Wow.
to run away. And eventually, he kidnapped me. Well, he would kidnap me out the streets all the time. Like if he just, see me walking down the streets, because where was I really going to run to? I didn't have many
Right.
places, a friend's house or something. So he would find me on the streets and hold a gun to my head and play Russian roulette, clicking a gun. And so eventually he got tired of me trying to run away. So he took me to this huge house that almost looked like an abandoned house and
Okay.
locked me in there. So anyway, I don't want to spoil it, because actually my other book is coming out next week for you to be able to read.
Okay.
All
Okay.
like, yeah,
Okay.
I've been working hard.
Y'all, she got 3 books, y'all. 3 books. Powerful.
So
That's powerful. Like
don't want to miss
every
that one. That's the one.
right.
That's telling everybody, like, don't get excited yet, because this big book where I get to really tell every little detail that you wonder in your mind, is like, oh my goodness, like what was each day
Wow.
like? Hey, I'm telling it all in that book.
Wow. So you got like a whole movie could really be done about your life in a sense.
Yes, I do. And I'm
Like, 'cause
hoping
it
that,
makes me think about Players Club, but that wasn't kind of the same thing. But she kind of got
right.
caught up in that because she was trying to go to college and thinking like she can make, do the
Yeah.
money in that way. And I remember she said, "Don't let the game make you," And so it kind of like remind me of that, but like a more of a real life story with
Yes.
more meat to it than that.
The thing that I try to tell people often is it doesn't matter if you're a willing worker. I call those willing workers the ones who are convinced that they need money and they're doing
Right.
it for themselves. They don't have a pimp, but they just need this money. So it doesn't matter if you're a willing worker or if you're a victimized through human sex trafficking. All of us are victimized in one way or another, because even that movie, that's a perfect example with Players Club. To me, she
Right.
was just the victim as I was. Look at what she went through with, remember the girl, and she ended up,
Right.
I believe the girl ended up raping her, and just
Yeah,
some
like
of
a
the
peer
things she went
pressure,
through.
like a yeah.
Yes, like the tricks and the whole nine. And I'm sure nobody wakes up, well, nobody grows up and says to themselves, I want to be an exotic dancer when I grow up, or I want to be, in this lifestyle. So whatever, it's like, what are the things that happen prior to that resulted in this person feeling like this is my only option? So we help willing
Right.
workers too. Just to let you know, we help
Right.
willing workers because they need to know that is not the only option. You can absolutely be an entrepreneur, just like, what I'm doing. Like, I help people, I bring people on, I hire people, I send people out, whatever it is that we have to do in order to let them know that there are other options out here. Like, selling yourself is not an option at all. It's not okay, and it's not the go-to thing. But when you've been through several traumatic experiences, for some, they find no other way of escape. So that's why
Right.
we're here, to just
That's
reinforce that their support.
that's powerful. That's powerful. And Lakeisha, I thank you and every single other person in this same field for like doing that kind of work, because it's not the pretty work. It's not maybe the glamorous type of cause or thing that a person attaches themselves to all the time, but it's definitely work that needs to be done because it's something that's not talked about enough and it's
Yeah.
not advocated for enough. The pandemic, the issue that we deal with sex trafficking, with the willing workers, with all of that whole
Yeah.
piece is glamorized because we have shows like P Valley, and we have also it's shown in Power, all those different shows glamorizing that lifestyle,
Yeah.
glamorizing those things,
It's
but not really giving advocacy to how what is going on with women, even men too, who find themselves in that lifestyle or in that situation. So I'm
and
really
it's
like congratulating you on that.
thank you. It's nothing, absolutely nothing. I must say this, and I want to say the numbers real quick. I got to say the numbers because I just never know who's watching. First of all, there's nothing glamorous about the lifestyle. I don't care. People can say that all they want. Glamour, glamour. It's nothing, even though that was my old name and that's my book name too. But it's nothing glamorous about being raped. I don't care if you got a pimp or not. Somebody is dangerous with the tricks. It's dangerous, just period. You got to watch over your shoulder for every single thing and every single person. And there's nothing exciting and glamorous about feeling like you don't know if you're going to die or not any given second. That's the first thing. The second thing is in Chicago alone, I love to say the numbers because people don't realize that literally you could live to somebody next door who's being victimized from human sex trafficking. In Chicago alone, there are between 16,000 to 26,000 on any given day. And this is according to the National Human Sex Trafficking Hotline. And then those are just the ones who report it. And then also in the USA, it's about 46,000. That's in the USA, the ones who report it. And worldwide on a global level, it's 35 million. 35 million. That's what it's at. So this is a epidemic. Like we worried about a pandemic, but this is a real, real epidemic. So whatever you can do to just help, you know, and you can always reach out to us. There are tons of wonderful organizations who do the same work that I do. But just be a helping hand, you know, just be looking out and just, you know, don't assume that, like, if you see somebody dressed like an exotic dancer, that they're a willing worker. It's not always the case. And even if they are a willing worker, they're still victimized. So it's okay to maybe go give them the human sex trafficking hotline, you know, something or whatever. It's okay to have a heart for them. Have a heart for everybody. Like, these are human beings, regardless of the lifestyle. So I just wanted to say that.
Nah, I'm glad you did say that, because again, that took our conversation in another direction, but a good direction, and which often happens in interviews, that the other things happen besides the questions I might have. We talk about other stuff that needs to be talked about. And so it's very important, the work that you're doing. And like I said, it's not done in enough of abundance, and it's not spoken out about enough. And we need to have more conversation, more dialogue, and even on a bigger scale about this issue, and even with the celebrities in the community that glamorizes it, the rap artists and all this stuff like that, and shows, because they need to know. Actually, that's kind of what Euphoria, I don't know if you've heard of that show. They were talking about how that show is glamorizing being a drug addict, glamorizing the different lifestyles, and this is a lot of young kids are watching this now, and we don't want to inspire them, because sometimes they get inspired by seeing these shows, Power and Euphoria and all these different movies and stuff, and they think, oh, okay, it's cool, you know. That's why they too take into that lifestyle, or they get caught up in those situations because they feel like, oh, this is the thing to do, or this is the thing to make me feel like I'm worthy or whatever. Another question I wanted to ask you is, what would you tell your younger self now, knowing, you know, everything you've went through and everything that's happened? What would you tell her, that 17-year-old you?
Gosh, I love this question. Like, what would I tell Keisha slash Glamour? I wear a lot of hats. What I would tell her is, you are absolutely strong. And I would just tell her, you are absolutely strong. Because all the things I went through, it is by the grace of God that I'm alive. I could give no other credit to no other source but God, because anyone who would have suffered through as much pain as I went through up until this point, they already did in the grave. Like, I've seen a lot of girls die in a lifestyle. So with that being said, I would just say, stop being so hard on yourself. You know what I mean? Like, as I went through all of this pain, I was so hard on myself. I didn't like the way I was handling it at times. You know, Angel, but for those who don't know, you know, as a result of me being forced to keep it a secret because of the way I was raised, you know, I had tried to commit suicide 3 times. So I was hard on myself for things like that. Like, how could you do something so, you know, crazy? But no, how could you go through so much pain and nobody reach out a helping hand? How could you be so hard on yourself when you did the best that you could? And I'm saying that to somebody. That's not just me. You did the best that you could to handle that situation, that trauma, whatever it was, a loss of a loved one. You did the best that you could during that time to get through that. And I'm proud of you. So that's what I would say to myself. But I'm also saying it to you who's watching. I am proud of you. You are a warrior. And I just pray and I hope that whoever watches me, that they will be strengthened through me I'm not, I'm not building, well, God is building me up, first of all. But I don't believe that God is building me up so that I could just be like, oh, I'm this big person, I'm this, and that. I believe that God is building me up so that those who, need a Black and brown face to look at as an example of doing something positive, not glamorizing, the things that hurt us, but coming out of some of the things that hurt us into a place of prosperity, into a place of joy where I could smile on my face. You know what I mean? And just
Right.
knowing that this is all done for you so that you can know that you can make it.
Wow.
We talk that
Man.
long.
I see people giving like a lot of emojis right now. They connecting, I feel, with what you're saying. And I can't see the comments. I see some people commenting from my notifications on my end. But I can't see them on your live. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people are seeing what I see in you, your light, your love, your strength, your just vibrant spirit to just thrive through you turn your pain into purpose with creating Honorable Women Inc. And that is just something that the world needs more of, that we turn all of our pains into a purpose, and to know that we go through these things so that we can be a blessing to others later in life. Like, we don't just go through these things. Sometimes we think that as we're going through them, we're just going through them. And why is God doing this to us? Or why are we in these situations? But later in life, you find out as you meet different people, I went through this so I can talk to you and I can tell you can make it. And you just really inspired, I know, millions of people that's going to see this video, because I'm claiming it's millions of people going to see this video. And they're going to be inspired, and they're going to like, and they're going to share. And you're going to even get more support and more help and more people reaching out to you to get all the services that you offer to women every day. I want to ask you, too, what do you do when you feel like giving up? Even now, even then, like, what do you do when you feel like giving up?
What do I do when I feel like giving up? It's good to go to a place and scream. No, that's what I used to do. But when I feel like giving up, I remember why I'm doing it. You always got to keep that at the forefront of your mind. Why am I doing it? And as I told you at the beginning, even with being an entrepreneur, none of this matters if I forget the people. I was about to, like, a lot of people think you don't go through anything, like, as you climb the ladder, but it gets more and more intense, because it's kind of like, when much is given, much is required, right? So it's definitely intense. I'm always busy. I'm trying to balance family time out, with career time and everything I'm doing. But one thing that I do is I remember why I'm doing it. And if not for the people, then I don't care about none of it if it's not for those who are victimized through human sex trafficking. So we were about to cancel the thing for the teens because I was like, oh, I'm so tired, I need a break. And I said, absolutely not. We will go forward, because that's why we're doing it. All of this other stuff is beautiful and it's amazing. But my number one mission, as far as with God first, is to be there for the people. And I definitely don't want to let that get, placed on the back burner. So that's what I do. I just remember why I'm doing it. Sometimes I pray. Well, I pray all the time. I have to, because otherwise it'll be like, I can't do this. It's just too much.
Right.
But just know that you absolutely can do it. And I love that quote. I'm trying to think of the quote. What is it? When it was like, who are you not to be? You know what I'm talking about.
Right.
I love that quote. That's one of the biggest fears, as that quote says, and I hate that I don't know it verbatim. But our biggest fear is just feeling like, how can I do it?
You talking about our biggest fear is that we're inadequate.
Yes.
And and I don't know it verbatim either, but I love that. And it was in the movie Coach Carter, because the guy, he remembered it, because he used to say it to them. And then at the end, he quoted it to Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, so one of the biggest things, and I'm just trying to give out all the, juiciness that I can, because you never know who's watching again. But one of the hugest things is I was always waiting on somebody to rescue me. As I went through all this DTFS, rape, brutally beat, just everything, molested, everything. It seemed like everything, that could possibly happen to hurt me did, right? And I would stand by that window and I would wait for somebody to rescue me. Nobody never came up in a physical sense. Like, nobody never came forth. I was always there. He's the reason why I'm here, right? But the whole thing is that God was preparing me to be that person for somebody else. There's a child who's standing by the window right now. There's an adult who's standing by the window now, feeling hopeless, feeling like, feeling those same things. And when they come in to contact, even with this video, even though I know it was supposed to be about like honoring me, but I'm always trying to help people. So when they see the video, then just know that you are not by yourself. It's somebody that God has prepared for you to give you this message of hope, healing, faith, love, and just knowing that you are stronger than you think. And you are the person. That's why I love that, that quote. Right. You are the person for the job, whatever that job is. And I'm an example of that, because I'm telling you, like, I just been like, I don't know how much more I can take. Like, if you just drop a penny on me, I think I'm gonna fall apart. But there are angels and there's a God who will not let you fall apart. That will keep on. That's my drive. Right. You know what I mean? I always feel like giving up. I have to be honest. You know what I mean? I always feel like, oh, I can't do it. But the something that does not need to give up is God, is that strength. And he gives you the grace to do whatever it is, whatever your ministry is. And that don't, even if you just White Castle worker, he gives you the grace to deal with those people with a smile on your face.
Wow. So it's weird that you just said that. I always feel like giving up even now, because I feel those feelings too. And I feel often, I talked to a friend last night, I'm not going to mention her name, but she's also an amazing person in the community. And she was telling me how she was feeling doubt about herself, questioning her purpose, and it felt like giving up at times and disconnecting herself and shutting down from people. And I told her, it's always the great ones. Like even Barack Obama talked about, those feelings of like, you wouldn't think of Oprah or a Tyler Perry or these different individuals that, like even ourselves, would feel that way, because you see them leading and you see them leading in light and doing so many great things. But we even have those moments even the more, because it's a purpose, a great purpose that we have over our lives, that another force is trying to stop us from doing those things. So that's why that comes up even the more. It's like, nah, who are you to do this? Nah, you ain't all that to be out here and talking and having all these opportunities and getting grant monies and this thing and that thing. Like, all of that comes into play when you're pushing yourself to greatness. But that's just a part of the great, levels that you're going to, is that's going to be a part of that. You're going to have people talk about you, stab you in the back, even find that you'll have less friends as you get higher up in, what you're doing, because it's people just constantly trying to stop you from what it is, your call, your purpose in life to do. And it doesn't mean that we're just going to just feel great about ourselves all the time. Even the more it ramps up, like, those feelings. Even look at Kanye West, another great example, a really great genius of an artist and of a person. But, he is now battling in his mind. And you would think, because he had all this money and married to a Kardashian and all this stuff, that he would be okay. But, sometimes it's not just that easy to be okay. Even when you have all of these great levels that you're at, you still struggle. It's still a journey.
Yes. And what I wanted to add is that, well, my pastor taught me this too. I love my pastor. Shout out. But we must identify a spade as a spade, right? So feelings it's just that. So once you realize that, this was a huge thing in my journey. Like I told you, when I tried to commit suicide, I would be having a bad day and I would take a bad day for, oh my God, my life is over. This is the worst day of my life. It can't get no better. Let's end it. And what I've learned on this journey is, if you just wait one more day, you will see how everything changes. Now you won the lottery or something amazing happens, right? So I've learned to identify feelings is just that. Just because I have a bad day today, it don't mean tomorrow is going to be bad. So I go through the motion with these different feelings, but I know that ultimately it's not who I am. You know what I mean? It's not like all of who I am. It's just me having a bad day, and tomorrow is going to be greater, because I speak life into my tomorrows, for one thing. So it must be, because I'm saying that it's going to be greater. And usually when I wake up, the next day is greater. And then sometimes I feel back the same way I felt the day before again. And then something else has great. I mean, so it's just the ups and downs. I mean, it's life. Like, it's not perfect. So I think it's important to just let people know that, because I think a lot of people that, they look up to leaders and they assume that everything is perfect. It's not perfect, but me just coming to the realization of I might have a feeling that's not necessarily happy and bubbly on one day, but that's not going to stop me. Like, I am unstoppable. Nothing is going to stop me when it's really your, you know, your mission, your passion, who you destined to be. Nothing can stop that. Nothing.
Right. And I always think back to, it's either a song or a quote, but God takes extraordinary, unperfect people to do extraordinary things. So he takes the ordinary, unperfect people to do extraordinary things. And that's definitely what he's doing in your life. And this last question I want to ask you is, what makes a girl boss? Because you are definitely a girl boss in my definition, but I want to know, what do you think makes a girl boss?
What makes a girl boss? Definitely discipline. Number one, discipline. I'm so disciplined, it does not make sense. Like, it's been so many times I wanted to do something else, but I had to work. I had to prepare. I had to condition my mind. Discipline takes practice. Number two, what makes a girl boss is just being motivated and determined. You have to be determined. You cannot easily give up, especially when it's your dream. Like, you got to be determined. Like, look, my dream is going to happen in one way or another. So I would definitely say discipline and determination. Something I should have said first. God forgive me.
Right.
God,
But it's
keep God
okay.
first. In a sense of heal life, no matter what. That was number one, actually. So I just want to leave you with those three main things. And I think you should do fantastic. Keep God first in the center. Even before I get on here, I said a prayer like, God, I need you with me. Like, give me what to say. You know what I mean? And then just that determination. I've always been determined. I used to be rebellious in a bad way. Now it's turned around. God has turned
Right.
that rebellion into being a rebel in a good way. Like, I'm rebellious towards standing for human sex trafficking survivors. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's good to have some determination and some stubbornness, like when it comes to like your vision.
Right. Wow, that's some great ways to be a girl boss, and I think just everything that you embodied and people seen on this live is inspiring them right now to like boss up in they boss girl magic, which is the subject of these lives, is to empower women through your boss girl magic, and I think you definitely did that. Even for the men that are watching, I think that you did that for them too. Tell us where we can connect with you, whether it's your website or social media, how we can connect with you.
Honorable Women Inc., guys. Honorable Women Inc. If you look me up on any social media platform, it's Honorable Women Inc. My website is honorablewomeninc.org. I also have like mentions about how you can find our books on Amazon, t-shirts, just everything is on there. If you would like to set up an appointment with me, you can do that as well, honorablewomeninc.org. And also our Cash App, like if you want to make any donations to just help our cause, is the $ Honorable Women Inc. So I made it easy. So
Awesome. So on Amazon, do they just put in Lakeisha Walker to
yes,
find those
actually,
things? Okay.
Amazon, you can just put in Lakeisha Walker. Like if you're not a Facebook friend, if you put in Lakeisha Walker, and that's Lakeisha, Walker is Walker, then both the books will pop up and you'll be able to make that purchase.
Okay, so Facebook family, friends, all Lakeisha's Facebook family and friends, y'all right now go to Amazon, run up the sales on her books, on her merchandise. Put Lakeisha Walker into the search. It's that simple. And follow her on all the social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook. I don't know if she's on Twitter. I don't know, Snapchat. Honorable Women
Yes.
Inc. Okay, run up her followers right now and just make her have an amazing rest of the day with saying, Angel, I got so many notifications of people contacting me. Run up her Cash App right now. She's doing amazing works. I know the amazing work she's been doing. She did stuff even through the pandemic to help those who are less fortunate. And she has an amazing light, amazing soul, amazing mission. And if you want her, she's an empowerment speaker. If you want her to come out to any event that you might have, or anything that you're doing, you see already she's very well spoken, has a great testimony. She will bless whatever service, whatever thing, whatever radio show, whatever TV show you want to invite her, invitations, contact her through her honorablewomeneat.org and book her for those different things, because she is just like, if you want a professional face painter, get her to paint the babies and the adults faces. She does an amazing job with that. I've seen her operating in that gifting as well. Like she said, she's going to be doing a book, how to write a book class coming up. She's did how to be a face painter classes in the past too. I know she didn't mention that, but I remember that. She just is a woman of many gifts and talents. So we want definitely for you all to connect with her. Please, right now too, share this video, share this live. It is not just about, honoring and uplifting me or her in any way, but it's about helping someone else to keep going and telling their story and to be empowered to be a boss, just like she is being, just like she's displayed and said about in her story, that is what we want other women and girls to do in their lives, to not be stopped, to not let anything they're going through right now stop them, but to use that thing, turn that pain into purpose. And so definitely share this live right now. Give us some hearts and give us all them emojis y'all been giving us already. I'm just really excited. Yeah, I'm really excited to be doing this. And like I said earlier, I had posted about Maya Angelou this morning. I posted about actress and philanthropist Taronda Jones, and she actually reposted it on her page. So that was kind of cool because she's a celebrity. But I'm hoping that through this month, I show people the love that you should give to your fellow woman. We should honor women in this way, not just this month, but every day, because even the Black woman is so disrespected in the world, and we need more respect. And even the woman, period, has been disrespected over the course of history. And women do a lot. They bear children. They start businesses, they work 9 to 5s, they do organizations, they teach, they do so much. They're mothers to all types of individuals, not just the kids that they birth. And women just deserve so much respect and so much honor. And this is what this is about this month. So please also follow Angels Touch Ministries and Angels Good Vibes Zone. That's all over social media, Instagram, Facebook, and my YouTube, Angels Good Vibes Zone, where I'll be posting this content as well. So I thank you, Lakeisha, so much today for being a part, being willing. I take it as an honor that you even allowed me to interview you today, because you're an amazing person. And I know you got a busy schedule and have a lot of things that you have going on, and being patient with the technical difficulties. And I'm so sorry, everyone, for the technical difficulties, but we're going to get this together next Tuesday. But yes, I'm really excited that we did this this afternoon. And I'm trying to think what else. Do you have something coming up other than the class and the piece that you're doing with teens that you want to mention before we get off?
No, but I do want to mention that you are absolutely amazing and phenomenal. And I don't care if I was on a plane on my way to another country, which that's coming. I'm speaking it, y'all. But to getting ready to speak, if you asked me to do this, I would do it, because I just think it's amazing that, you even picked me. Because I don't even think of myself like that. I'm just doing what I have, what needs to be done. And you are a girl boss, and you deserve to be honored as well. So I honor you right back. Just sending you those love bubbles right back. And thank you so much just for having me be a part.
No problem. Make sure, Lakeisha, too, comments, if you could put, now I see somebody else giving you some love. They put your link to the Amazon, one of your friends, Stacy Powell. If you could put also your social media stuff in the comments as well, so some of those watching that are my Facebook friends, they can connect with you too in those ways. But yeah, I don't know, before we get off, I also want to give a chance for the audience, if you have any questions or you have any things you would like to ask Lakeisha before we get off the live, you can comment now and let us know.
I do want to say I seen a couple people saying some things, but it just went across so fast. Kia,
Yeah.
thank you for supporting. I seen you. I seen so many people, but it was like it was going across so fast. Are you able to see it on your end?
Yeah, I see Stacy said, hey, I see Stacy put up your Amazon. Ernesta Williams said, this was great as always. God bless
Thank
you.
you.
Jay
God bless
Marie said, hello. Kia, she says she definitely sees the light, the thing I was talking about earlier about you, and she loves you so much. She's a genuine
you.
person.
I feel like
Um,
too.
Elvis, he put up a bunch of praying emojis. And I think I see my friend Naya giving some emojis. And so, yeah, I have some people inboxing me now saying, Angel, this is awesome that what you are doing. So thank you to my friends and family. I really am a person who is about celebrating other people. I accept what you said, Lakeisha, and about myself. And yes, I have
Yes.
to. I'm learning now from therapy. I am worthy of that too. But right now it's about other people. It's not even about Angel. It's more so about lifting up other people and also giving a platform to people I don't think they get highlighted enough, be or out there enough, or on the news enough, or this you are going to be a person who is going to not just have this interview, but you're going to have even bigger interviews than this. Like, you're going to get on TV and talk to Kelly Clarkson and Ellen, and well, Ellen about to go off now, unfortunately, but all these different people, you're going to be able to do that kind of thing because you are doing some great work, and that only leads you to great places. And so I just speak that over your life, and I pray that God continues to give you all the resources and all the things you need so that you can continue to do the work He has for you to do for the
Yeah.
rest of your life, and bless as many women and children and adults as possible. And whatever I could do, I will always try to be supportive and helpful in whatever way I can.
Thank you so much. And thanks for all your help. I really appreciate
No
it.
problem. No problem. I love you very much,
Love you
Lakeisha.
too.
That's Lakeisha Walker, again, of Honorable Women, Inc. Follow her on everything: Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. If she got a Twitter, go to her website, honorablewomeninc.org. Hit up her Cash App, money sign Honorable Women Inc. I hope I said that right.
Yes.
And then go to Amazon, put in Lakeisha Walker, and you'll find all of her merch, and you'll be able to purchase her books and the shirts and do everything to be supportive to her as she is doing what she's doing and rocking her boss girl magic. All
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
this
Woo.
has been Angels Goodbye, the first of these, and my first guest, Lakeisha Walker, amazing. Join us every Tuesday via Facebook Live from my personal page, Angel Lofton, or you can catch it on Angels Touch Ministries or Angels Good Vibes Zone. You can catch the replay of this also on my YouTube a little bit later. But yeah, this is it, and this is Women's History Month. We started off with a bang. So enjoy the rest of this month and love on a woman. Not just let me be a person that's highlighting and loving on women, but you go out there and you do something and you post on your social media how you are honoring and loving and highlighting a woman and supporting a woman in this month. Support your fellow woman even more in this month. All right, so Lakeisha, have a good
Yeah.
day. I gotta get ready for work and the rest of all the crazy stuff I do with my life. And I know you got stuff to do, and I know everyone else has busyness to the rest of their day. So y'all have an amazing Tuesday, and I'll talk to you later.
Peace. Bye.